I'm Kevin Taylor with Beyond Imagination Business Coaching. Today, continuing our journey into the ownership stack by talking metrics. And no, I'm not talking about you converting to liters, meters, and grams. I'm talking about measuring what's happening in your business. And today, particularly focused on your marketing metrics. How are you measuring the effectiveness of your marketing and advertising? See, far too many companies grab together a bunch of money, usually a lot of money, and throw it at advertising. And in the process, they hope that something comes back. But the problem can be when something does come back, where did it come from? What money did they have to spend, and what money could they have saved? Properly measuring and tracking your marketing and advertising will help answer those questions. Now you've made a marketing plan. You know generally where you want to start looking to spend your marketing. But how do you know if it works? Well, if you have online advertising going on, you can start by looking at what's your click-through rate. Now, whoever you're advertising with should show you this. You can then start to figure your conversion rate. Out of the people who click on that ad, how many of them became customers? How many of them actually bought? You can also look at the total number of clicks that any particular ad is generating. These three numbers will help you figure out if your online advertising is hitting the mark. Now, if you're looking at offline advertising, real world, if you will, you can look at a couple of other ratios. What's your lead to contact? Your contact to visit or tour, and your visitor tour ratio to sales. Each of these will help you know at each step along your marketing and sales funnel how you're producing, how you're performing, and if you're getting what you need from that stage of the process. Now, in all forms of advertising, you can also look at a few other forms of measurement. These relate to the money that you're putting out. What's your cost per lead? What's your cost per sale? What's your profit for an average sale? What's your sales cycle? How long does it take to go from someone who's never heard of your company to someone who's a lifetime customer? All of these metrics can help you know about the money you're putting out. And is it worth it? Your profit per sale should definitely be higher than your cost per sale. It's basic accounting. Let's continue on. Look at a couple other things that we can track. How do you identify the source of new customers? How do you know where they come from? A couple of thoughts. You can use a tracking number. There's a number of companies who will gladly sell you a phone number that you can apply to one place. This phone number will ring through to your main line. There's a bunch of different levels of service that they offer with these. But basically, you can track who calls that number, and you assign that number to just one medium, one source at a time. If you're still using a Yellow Pages, you can put one of these for that. If you have a particular campaign you're advertising with a call us, you can put one number for that. Another option for a tracking number is Google Voice, that offers the ability to get different numbers that will feed through to your main line, but you can track what happens through each of these numbers. It's a great way to know on incoming calls where they came from. If you're working through an online presence, you can create unique links that point from a particular source to a particular place on your website. You can use unique landing pages for each ad campaign that you're doing, so that anyone who lands on one landing page should pretty much only have gotten there from the advertising that you're doing. It's a good way to track where people are coming from online and to find out what kind of results you're getting. You can use unique coupons. If you're doing a direct mail or a door-to-door approach, make your coupons different. Make the offer different. Make them look different, so that as you're going through the coupons you collect, you can see where they came from. Now, one more source, and this is crazy, I know, is to simply ask your customers as they're checking out, as part of the small talk, hey, how'd you find us today? What brought you here? How did you learn about this offer or this sale or whatever it may be? Let them tell you. Now, a caveat with having customers tell you, they may not tell you exactly the thing that brought them in that day, but they will tell you what has been an impact on them in making a purchase decision. We had a company that was a major purchase. The sales cycle was quite long, and it was a very emotionally involved purchase. We did a lot of different advertising, but what we found out is most people, when they walked through the door, would tell us they just saw us driving by. Now, that's not necessarily the case, but what we learned is that having a location at the right point in time, at the right point in space, had a major impact on our customers' desire and ability to come in. Now, ultimately, your goal is that every form of advertising you use pays for itself and then provides a return on the investment you made to create it. But the only way to know if that's happening is to track the results. If you do that, you can find the advertising forms, you can find the marketing that's not performing, and you can start to weed that out and replace it with more focus on the things that are working in your company. Now, does this sound daunting? It may. It's a lot to put together, but it doesn't have to be. A little help can take you a long way down the road to accomplishing this, to getting your marketing metrics set up so that you can know clearly and accurately what is driving new customers to your door. What's making them select your business to spend their money? And as you do this, you'll find that your marketing can become more effective, that your profits can actually go up because you're not wasting money, and that you absolutely know what's working in your business.